Today's thought of the day has actually, that is one which changed me. It's been 2 years writing graphotherapy, and I can say this is one of the changes that I experienced in myself, that is moving from reacting to responding. And it has actually helped me in a big way because now, even, you know, ugliest of the conversations don't get ugly. So I'm able to steer through it. So I'm sure, please keep on writing graphotherapy and let that change come into you. Just imagine, your boss criticizes your presentation in front of the entire team. In that moment, you have two choices. Choice one, fire back immediately. Well, you didn't give me proper guidance. And choice two, take a breath, absorb what happened, and respond. I understand your concerns. Can we discuss specific areas I can improve? Same trigger, two completely different outcomes. One leads to an awkward silence and potential career damage, and the other opens the door for growth and professional respect. So, this is the difference between reacting and responding. And it's the difference between living as a victim of your emotions or as the master of them. As today's guiding thought reminds us, reacting is like throwing water on a spark without thinking. Sometimes you drown it, sometimes you create a mess. Responding is like controlling the flame so it lights the room, not burns it down. Let's be honest about what reactions look like in a daily Indian reality. It's your mother commenting on your weight during a family gathering, and you immediately snapping, "You always criticize me." It's your teenage child coming home late, and you launching into a lecture before they even remove their shoes. Reactions are instant, emotional, and often followed by that familiar feeling, regret. They are like those WhatsApp messages you send at 2 a.m. when you're upset, only to wake up and think, why did I say that? And here's what's happening in your brain during a reaction. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, hijacks your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for rational thinking. It's like your emotional fire department rushing to put out a fire without checking if it's actually an emergency or just someone making rotis in the kitchen. A college student from Chennai told me, I used to react to every comment my friends made about my appearance. And one day, I snapped so badly that I lost three close friendships in 5 minutes, all because I couldn't pause before speaking. So the cost of constant reacting, damaged relationships, increased stress, and a reputation for being too emotional or hot tempered. And worst of all, you become a prisoner to everyone else's behavior. Their mood determines your mood, their words control your actions. And now, let's talk about responding, the superpower they never taught us in school. A response is thoughtful, intentional, and mindful. It comes from a place of choice rather than impulse. So when you respond instead of react, you are like a skilled cricketer who doesn't swing at every ball. You watch, assess, and then decide. Is this worth hitting? Where should I direct the shot? What's my strategy here? The magic happens in the pause. That sacred gap between trigger and action. And in that space lies your power. As Viktor Franklin said, between stimulus and response, there is space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. So let me share a real example. A software engineer from Pune was constantly frustrated with his team lead who would assign last minute tasks. His old pattern was to react, complain, show frustration, create tension, and then he learned to respond. When given another last minute task, he paused, breathed, and said, I can see this is urgent, but to manage this effectively, I'll need to reschedule two other deliverables. Which ones should I prioritize? Same situation, completely different outcome. And that's the beauty of it. The benefits of responding are profound. Stronger relationships because people trust your emotional stability. Better decision making because you're thinking clearly. Fewer regrets because you're acting from wisdom rather than wounded feelings. And most importantly, inner peace because you're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. So, how do you build this magical pause? And it starts with awareness, becoming the observer of your own emotional weather. Think of it like this: emotions are like monsoon clouds. So, throughout country, we are facing them nowadays. You can't stop them from forming, but you can choose whether to dance in the rain or seek shelter. The key is recognizing when the storm clouds are gathering before they start pouring. And here's a practical technique I call the traffic light method. When you feel triggered, red light, stop everything. Don't speak, don't move, don't decide anything. Yellow light, breathe deeply 3 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural calm down mechanism. And green light, ask yourself one crucial question: will my response add value to the situation, or will it just make me feel better in the moment? So, a mother from Hyderabad shared this story. My teenager was being disrespectful about household chores. My usual reaction was to shout and threaten to take away privileges. Instead, I used the traffic light method. I paused, breathed, and responded calmly. I notice you seem frustrated about the course. Let's talk about what's really bothering you. It turns out she was stressed about board exams and felt overwhelmed. We solved the real problem instead of fighting about symptoms. And that's what we learn in graphology, isn't it? The beautiful thing about building this emotional gap is that it becomes automatic with practice. Your brain literally rewire itself to choose pause over impulse. And when you move from reacting to responding, you don't just change your own life, you influence everyone around you. Think about the people in your life who always seem calm and thoughtful. How do you feel around them? Safe, respected, heard? And now think about reactive people in your life. How do you feel around them? On edge, defensive, careful with your words. So you become what psychologists call an emotional thermostat. Instead of reflecting the temperature of the room, you set it. When your family is arguing, your calm response can de escalate the entire situation. And when colleagues are panicking about a deadline, your thoughtful approach can bring clarity to chaos. A team leader from Bengaluru told me, I realized that my team's stress levels were directly connected to my reaction patterns. So when I started responding instead of reacting to project challenges, my entire team became calmer and more creative in problem solving. And this is leadership at its finest. Not the kind that comes with titles and corner offices, but the kind that come from emotional maturity and conscious choice. So here's your challenge, the 3 second rule. Starting today, whenever you feel that familiar trigger, whether it's a comment from family, a difficult email, or a frustrating situation, pause for exactly 3 deep breaths before responding. And during those 3 breaths, ask yourself, will my response add value to this situation? And then speak from that place of intention. Keep a small journal for 1 week. Note each time you use the 3 second rule and record the difference it made, both in the outcome and how you felt afterward. So here's the beautiful truth. Every time you choose response over reaction, you're choosing growth over comfort, wisdom over ego, connection over conflict. You're proving to yourself and the world that you're not a victim of circumstances. You're a conscious creator of your experiences. So, in a world full of instant reactions and emotional explosions, your thoughtful responses become a gift to yourself and everyone around you. So, master this skill and you master life itself. The flame of your emotions doesn't have to burn everything down. Learn to control it and watch how it illuminates your world. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.